Hi everyone, I'm Shelley Viduzzo. Welcome to my presentation. Just as a side note, the company doesn't have a name yet, so I'll be referring to them as Aussie Seaweeds. And with that, let's get started. My client is a sustainably and ethically sourced seaweed company. They're a brand new company and do not have a name, branding, or a visual identity. They're a Geelong-based company and they'll be operating out of a retail store as well as having stockists throughout Australia. They have a range of seaweed products. They have some base products and would like to start adding more soon. So a bit of background, I have a passion for environmental sustainability and social issues. My motivation for this project is to build a brand from scratch that is environmentally and ethically sustainable in a sector that's rapidly growing. So basically the seaweed company needs full branding, including a naming, brand story, messaging, a visual identity, and toolkit. They'll need a brand application rollout, website, app, campaigns, and advertising materials. For this project, I did both statistical and observational research. For my observational research, I visited both Eastside Whole Foods and East Fruit Market located in East Geelong. These places are in my locality. They're both whole food stores where for the most part consumers can interact with the products directly with little to no packaging. So some observations I noted about the customers. They were taking their time, moving slowly compared to the rush of usual supermarket shopping. There was excellent customer service. The staff are knowledgeable and I was able to get tailored service to my needs. The staff were engaging in conversation with their customers and the stores felt welcoming. So here are some benefits of seaweed. Seaweed is a superfood. It is nutrient dense. It's not only environmentally friendly, it's beneficial to the species and environments that it grows in. It's also a rapidly growing plant, growing 30 times faster than land-based plants. I thought I'd also include a seaweed market snapshot. Globally, around 12 million tonnes of seaweed is grown and harvested annually. Approximately 3/4 of this comes from China. The current market value of seaweed globally is $5 to $5.6 billion US. $5 billion of this comes from sale for human consumption. So we have a dire need for sustainable food sources. In his book, Tim Flannery says that not only is the human population growing, but so is its demand for protein. As people's economic circumstances improve, they seek to eat more meat and high-status seafood. By 2050, the demand for meat will be up 46% on current levels in China, 72% in the rest of Asia, 94% in India, and 29% in sub-Saharan Africa. There is also a strong need to reduce food miles. According to Ceres, the average Australian food basket has travelled over 70,000 kilometres from producer to consumer, which is a huge amount. So with problems come opportunities. There is a large gap in the market for Australian grown seaweed. There are several seaweed brands out there, but none that focus solely on Australian harvested species. Most of the seaweed brands on the market are from Norway or Japan. The food miles to Australia are quite high and require a lot of resources to ship in large quantities. There is also an opportunity for a local seaweed brand with a customer-centric approach, as most seaweed brands are not engaging or local. Here we have a communication statement for Aussie Seaweeds. As a new business, Aussie Seaweed only has their phone and email as their current contact. They will need to expand their points of contacts in both physical and digital form. Here we have our primary persona, Sky Basto. Her archetype is the Geelong local. She is 34 years old and lives in Armstrong Creek in Greater Geelong with her husband and dog. She travels into Geelong for her work each day as a speech pathologist. Here's our secondary persona, Meng. His archetype is the Sydney Sider. He's 27 years old, lives in his own apartment in Sydney CBD and works as a marketing manager. Here we have our customer journey map for Sky. It goes through the steps and decisions she makes to purchase Aussie Seaweed products locally. Here's our customer journey map for Meng. He's buying He's buying online, and this shows the steps he takes to make a purchase from the app. Here we have a case study for our local competitor, Alge Seaweed. They're an Australian-made seaweed company. Their offerings are made in Australia, but they're not 100% sourced in Australia. They do, however, have a range called the 100% Australian range. So they do have this as an option for their customers. However, this range is not extensive and only offers 3 products. Here's our international competitors, Flit Seaweed. They're based in Norway and specialise in gourmet seaweed products. Their offerings are limited, focusing on quality over quantity. All of their products are grown in and made in Norway. One thing that they have excelled at is creating a customer experience. They have a recognizable brand identity system, and they've developed an app that works in tandem with this identity system. The user can scan the logo on their product, the app will recognize it, and it will bring up information about that product. My recommendations to the company are to create a strong brand story to connect with the target audience, create an identity system to create novelty and help customers explore the brand more, partner with local environmental organizations, develop an app to appeal more to secondary target audiences that won't have the opportunity to connect with the brands locally, and maybe think about having a cafe attached to the store where people can try recipes made with their products. This will also engage the local community. Here we have the scope of the project. I will deliver full branding, including naming, a brand story, messaging, a visual identity, and toolkit. I will design a brand application rollout, website, app, launch campaign, and advertising materials. Here's the project schedule to make sure that we stay on track. We will measure the success of the project in these ways. In conclusion, Aussie Seaweed are a seaweed brand passionate about their product and the environment. They want to create an ethical and sustainable business model and are striving to become a certified B Corporation. They want to build a strong community through their brand. This will be achieved through brand strategy, a strong visual identity, and a focus on a customer-centered experience. Thank you for your time.